This video is sponsored by the Arc Echoes of Arcadia Light RP. So, as I'm sure you're aware, the Centre has been out on ASA for a reasonable amount of time now. I think it's maybe been a week or something along those lines, and obviously I have made absolutely no content on the Centre at all, and today's video is sort of just saying that I probably won't be making any videos on the Centre for ASA because it is just the same old, and although the maps are looking better than ever before and way better than ASE could have ever got them, they are still reusing those same assets again, and they're just sort of taking the detail out of the maps that really made them interesting. For example, on Scorched Earth, the church just looks completely different now. At least it definitely did at release, and they just didn't put enough attention into that. And the Centre is sort of the same story. There's not even anything extra going on with the map, and you could say the Pyromane is something, but we'll get onto that later, as I do have a few issues with that creature as well. And I have not actually bought the Pyromane DLC, as I'm not going to buy into that. I did buy Bob's Tall Tales, absolutely never used it. Sorry, I just dropped something there if you did hear that. But yeah, I have never used Bob's Tall Tales. I think I might get into it at some point. It does look intriguing, but I'll wait for AB and Extinction to release and then just go through all of it. Then for ASA, it's sort of a waiting game for me because, like, when thinking about it, not all the maps are out there yet, so I'm just going to keep playing ASE until all the stuff is available on ASA, and then just come back to it and then play through all of it on ASA and be like, it's all finished, it's all done, it's great. And really, I can't just wait for Arc 2 as well. I really want that to be the next sort of thing. It reminds me of Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West from kind of looking at it. If it's that sort of game, I know it's sort of a Souls style game, I think they said. It's going to be different from the original Arc, and I just can't wait for that to come out. And I really hope that all the great people from Wildcard's development team are just working on that more than ASA, as I think it deserves the attention. I wouldn't mind if they just said, right, we're going to take a break from ASA, there's going to be no more content coming up from ASA because we're working on Arc 2, and then, like, again, ASA sort of doesn't need to exist, and it wasn't intended to exist in the first place. I would have much preferred it if they just went straight to Arc 2, because Wildcard has created a massive issue for themselves. And again, I know opinions are mixed. Some people absolutely love ASA, and that is great for you. Love ASA as much as you want, but it has divided the player base into two halves, and there's nothing you can really say against that because it is proven fact. That is exactly what has happened to the player base, and half of it's on ASE and half of it's on ASA, and there's dividing opinion, and really the player base is just slowly just trickling away, and it's getting gradually smaller and smaller. If you haven't noticed as well, views on general Arc content on YouTube and Twitch and wherever you're going to find it has dropped, as people are less interested in the game now. There is less hype around it. We are tired of the same things over and over again, and really I think for me it's just a wait for Arc 2 at this point. Yes, it's going to be nice when all those other maps come out on ASA. I especially can't wait for AB. That is going to be pretty exciting, but still, I'm not even going to touch that DLC map until all of the maps are out on ASA, as I don't even want to go near any of it for quite a while, because I want it to be fully optimized and gone through first. And some people might have a similar opinion to that. It means, like, I'm not really going to touch ASA until it's sort of all done, and I think some people maybe do have some similar opinions, because, you know, ASA, whatever you do say, is not in a great state compared to ASE performance wise. There are bugs that haven't been in ASE for absolute years which are in ASA, and ASA does not run better than ASE. I am sorry, it simply cannot. It is a much more intensive game. In my opinion, it crashes a lot more as well, and just a lot of the things, again, bugs just are much more present. It does not run better. It physically can't run better than ASA, ASE, sorry. It is UE5 at the end of the day, and Unreal Engines don't have the best track record of being the most optimized, but games nowadays don't either. There seems to be a sort of push against optimization, or maybe a laziness in the developers' part. What I think it is more though, because I'm not saying developers don't have care for their games and they don't optimize them through, as there are some games that have come out recently in the past few years and all of that are greatly optimized. Forza Horizon 5 is a very good example of that, and the Horizon games are done tip top as well. But nowadays, more of the games that you will see are going to be less optimized, as it's more of a financial reason to push the game out rather than actually putting some love and attention. Companies will just push the game out earlier because they can get the game out earlier, and then they'll just try and fix it however in updates, and I don't think that works as effectively. The game is just so much better if you fix all that stuff first and then release it. Again, ASA sort of did not need to exist in the first place. I didn't really want it to sort of be a thing. Yes, it was exciting, and it still is maybe sort of exciting, but that's the hype sort of gone away. Arc 2 should have definitely been the focus. For me, ASA was merely a cash grab, or maybe a bridge between Arc 2, is simply a stepping stone, but never its own main standalone thing that I would really be excited for. I would just think of it as Arc 2, and ASA is maybe the connecting bracket to those things, and that's how I think of it. I think of it as a lesser game than Ark Survival Evolved, as that is the game where all my memories lie. That is the game that I spent at this point over 10,000 hours on, which is absolutely insane across all my devices, of course, and across both of my Steam accounts, because I've got 2 on there. I've played every version of Ark actually, and they're all very nice, and I have a lot of respect for Ark Survival Evolved, but not as much for Ascended, and certainly not for Snail Games. With the Pyromane as well, it is essentially a pay-to-win creature. I'm not going to pay £5 for a creature that really is just going to be useful for PvP stuff, and that's what people are exploiting it for, and it's so sad to see, as they said they weren't going to do any pay-to-win stuff and all of that, but then with the Oasis on Scorched Earth, and now with the Pyromane, it really is not something which I'm very fond of seeing in the Ark world, and I really do hope that Wildcard and Snail get together and actually stop this. They probably won't, considering the direction that the game is going, but you know, I guess that's how the ball is going to roll in this sense. But I really hope they do try and fix that, because the Pyromane is simply, it just shouldn't exist. I don't want the Pyromane to exist. It is pay to win, and I hate it. Now, as I stated earlier, this video is sponsored by the Arc Echoes of Arcadia Light RP, and I'm really thankful for them reaching out for me. But I want to tell you why this is the best Arc server out there. It is the most immersive RP server by far. I love all of the time that I've spent with it, and so far I've thoroughly enjoyed all the playthrough, and that is due to daily and weekly large events. So you get an event daily, but you get a weekly large event. On top of that, there's 9 GB of DLC full conversion, which just adds a whole new way to play. There's a fresh wipe at the moment as well, so if you want to get started, you really can do well. There's over 60 mods, over 75 new creatures, there's all the DLC creatures there, it's on the center. You are going to have the best time on this map, and there's even 12 unique basic classes. And with a server like this, with 100% uptime, there's really nothing that can go wrong. So scan the QR code on screen, or there'll be a link in the description to join the server right away.